What's going on, everybody? This is LaVientarka, and welcome back to another episode of Mass Effect Andromeda. So, in the last couple episodes, we were introduced to our character, Ryder, and we kind of started to meet some of our crew, and the main thing that happened was that our father, who was the current Pathfinder, sacrificed himself to keep us alive, so now we are the new Pathfinder. So, at this point, let's see what kind of missions we have. So we have our priority missions, and that looks to be about it. So, the mission that we have right now is the Nexus Reunion, and we want to speak with Director Tan in Pathfinder headquarters. Here we go. So we got priority ops, we got additional tasks, getting to know the Nexus. So actually, let's go ahead and do this one. I personally like to do kind of the side ones first. Alright, speak with Tan. Alright, you know what? This one is the closest right here. So this is Addison.
But what choice do we have? Alright, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything. And right now, I just want to know what happened with Alec.
So we don't necessarily know about him wanting to meet Pathfinder, but the thing that we know is that he's gone.
I don't want to get into it. Things went wrong. And now I'm the one you have to deal with.
Alec Ryder wouldn't accept that kind of ultimatum. Damned if I will. We'd never have left home if we... Not home. The Milky Way. This is home. This mess. We don't have a lot of options, Ryder. Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
Alright, so, let's see, question mark. We're just asking questions. Insight into strange tech.
There's also the strange technology. Has anyone studied that?
We've tried. Not me. The brains in research. They're supposed to know their business. The current excuse? The tech we dug up on Mars was more advanced, but it was plug and go. The tech here thinks different? I don't know. We've mostly avoided it. And from what the Hyperion logs say about Alec, maybe that's good.
Yeah, so... different thinking tech. Colonial Director position.
How do you fit into the Nexus leadership?
I oversee the actual settlement effort. As the number of outposts is currently less than ideal, my influence is limited. As Tan is quick to remind me. Left a perfectly adequate career as a chief officer. Provincial capital, too. Only a new galaxy could pull me away. And here we are, idling.
Alright, relationship with my father.
You called my father Alec. No one does that.
A lot of us joined the initiative because of his vision. What he shared of it, anyway.
Were you friends? Or...
I'm not your new mother, if that's what you're asking. Or his friend. He hated that I didn't use his title. But no one's a Pathfinder until they've path-found something. Much like a colonial director without colonies.
The plan for the hostiles. What is the plan?
there must be some kind of plan for encountering hostile aliens. We can't have been that naive.
We expected life, not an enemy that refuses to talk. They don't attack, they disinfect. We're nothing until we're bacteria. Sorry, 14 months and you stoop to poetry. That's how bad it is. Not sure who started it, but we're calling them Ket. Kandros will know more. Maybe too much.
You don't trust him?
I trust him to defend us. I do not trust a rising military influence in a supposedly civilian initiative. We came here to make history, Ryder, not repeat it. Ugh, goddamn poetry.
Alright, so we know now that the hostiles that we fought earlier are called the Ket. And the last one, the failing outpost,
You've had no
what does she
colony
know about
successes in
those?
over a year. How many tries is that?
Less than you'd think. The Scourge, spoiled worlds, exiles, hostiles. We can't just plop down an outpost and expect picket fences. We need the Pathfinder and Sam to scout, evaluate, and inspire. The initiative promised a goal. Andromeda has not cooperated.
And if it had?
Beautiful utopian horseshit. Colonies that produce and support each other. The Nexus as Citadel, not headed by Tan, or even me.
Alright, we have asked all the questions here.
Excuse me, Director Addison.
Ryder?
It's Pathfinder.
Ryder, we're starving here. If we don't get a foundation of outposts to feed the initiative, we might as well be 600 years dead. Alec promised a lot. None of it panned out. That's what you're up against. Why people won't trust you. Why I don't trust you. Prove me wrong.
I have a feeling that she is not very confident in my ability. Alright, so there's another one over here. Let's see who this one is. Oh, that was just the stairs. Huh. See, there's a blue journal entry over there. Helios, no. Speak with Director Tan. Is that the one over there? No. So maybe the blue one is... See, this was talk to Tan. And this is talk to Tan. So let's go check out this blue one. This blue may be a mission that we don't really know about.
What am I going to
Militia
do?
office, new location discovered. Yeah, let's wait. Let's talk to Kandros first.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results, though they'll try. Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields militia work, Nexus security, and looking for the Turian Ark.
What's the word on the Turian Ark?
Scattered readings. Some indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
Alright, let's see what he knows about the Ket.
What do you know about the enemies we've encountered? The Ket.
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone studying them. Not sure why. They don't talk to us. Every time we cross paths, there's a fight or they take prisoners.
Why? What do they want?
No one knows. But I've seen their weaponry and what they do to those prisoners. I want them a long, long way from the Nexus.
Alright, coming to Andromeda. What does he
brought
have
you
to
out
say?
here to Andromeda?
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know? Then my sister became a sculptor and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I stayed in service. But I kept wondering, when do I get my adventure? Jen Garson's dream was so grand, so gutsy, I had to be part of it.
Alright, what is Kandros'
You talk like you
role?
weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to war on the Nexus, everyone looked at me like I was in charge.
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Turian welfare.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
Turians here.
So-so. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
Alright, finally, what does the militia use?
It's rough
do
out
here?
there. I might need backup, if you can spare the people.
I have strike teams specializing in assault and extraction. If you need serious firepower, my Apex teams have you covered. In fact, I could give you authority to dispatch them. It'll cut down their response time.
Thank you.
Our current ops are on the terminal. See if there's anything that could use a shot where it counts.
Alright, that's it for now.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Alright, on the terminal. Strike team missions use.
This console reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder. Please speak with Tyrion Kandros for authorization to participate.
Speak to Kandros on the Nexus or via the Tempest VidCom. We'll come back to that one later. Speak with the distraught Turian.
This is a nightmare.
Alright, we'll come back to that. And then we've got talk to Tan and talk to Kesh. So Tan, I think Tan is over there. That's the Pathfinder headquarters. And this is Kesh's office. So now Kesh...
Yeah.
What does Kesh
There
have to
you
say?
are. Hope the others haven't been giving you a hard time. There's a lot that needs doing. At least with the Hyperion hooked up and feeding us power, my team and I can get more work done.
Alright, so what is Kesh's
What
job
kind of
here?
work do you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and built this place. I keep the station functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
Alright. Actually, are there Krogan?
I noticed there aren't a lot of
Here.
Krogan around.
You haven't spoken to number 8 yet, have you?
Number 8?
Tan. Ask him why most of my people left. He'll have opinions. I can tell you this much. When the mutiny happened, a deal was made. My clan were supposed to settle matters and, in return, get more say in the initiative.
Number 8. Krogan deal with Tan.
Did the deal go through?
The clan held up their part, but Tan had a meltdown when he found out we wanted more say around here. Then Addison's assistant, Spender, pretended he never made the deal in the first place. It was a mess, but I don't blame my people for walking out. We're done being used.
If they're done, then why?
With your clan
Here.
gone, why did you stay?
It's complicated. The station and my clan both need me here.
Alright, number 8.
Why do you call Tan 8?
Because he was 8th in line to take over the Andromeda initiative. I like to remind him of that now and then. Keep him humble.
Alright, other questions. Nexus problems.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, was killed.
Who is Jan Garson?
What happened to Jean Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
That was not a lot of help. More about Nexus problems.
And I thought the Hyperion had it bad when we arrived. Anything else?
The outposts aren't happening because we don't have resources or people, so Addison's more uptight than ever. And let's not forget how badly the station was damaged on arrival. But that's a detail, according to some. My team and I are repairing what we can. If we don't get materials soon, things will go downhill. Fast.
So they need more material. So the genophage in the original Mass Effect trilogy, the genophage was described as, let me if I remember correctly, it was like a disease that started to wipe out the Krogan.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
And then also in, I think it was the third one, second or third, there was a Solarian that
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
gave a cure to it.
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show a mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
Solarian involvement in
No
the
wonder your
genophage.
people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame it all on them, either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the past. Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings. My people need that more than most.
Alright, do we have any other questions? No more questions for Kesh.
Nothing more for now.
See you later.
See you
My
later.
crew's working on it. We've moved the op center to the top.
Alright, so I saw
That's an entire section.
this container in that scene. Cryo ammo and a helmet. Initiative helmet. We will come back to that. And a datapad for posterity in case the initiative goes belly up. The Nexus is a 4-ring circus. Don't like how Tan operates, and his disdain for the Krogan is obvious. I believe his intentions are ultimately good, but he is an opportunist who's likely to create dissent. I don't see the Nexus coming together if he's left unchecked. It's already polarizing Addison. She's taking the cue to circle the wagons. I think I can talk to Kandros about this and at least try to get the two of us more coordinated, or maybe not. Seriously hate this kind of drama. I hate drama too. Right there with you. Oh, there's a question mark over there. What is this question mark? Is this a shop? Arms merchant.
Weapons and stuff. I got you covered. Use the console to take a look through what I got. It'd be a lot easier if I weren't missing half my stock.
What's with these prices?
Ouch. Why am I paying for these?
Half the supplies are inaccessible, what with how we crash landed and all. And I have to trade with the crooks out there for the rest, so...
First I want to sell all the salvage. That's just kind of the junk that I have. And then... I don't know what I have equipped. I don't have a shotgun. N7 Crusader. Does it tell me what I have equipped? No, it doesn't. Alright, so we'll come back to this. I at least wanted to get my stuff sold. Alright, Colonial Affairs. Here's the door.
This is the planet where we landed. Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we found. Ryder, we were discussing your next expedition.
Oh, here's Tan. About time. Do you trust me now? Like I said earlier, I'm trying to go for this kind of mindset.
I thought it didn't measure up as Pathfinder.
Director Addison keeps her own counsel. I keep mine.
And when you disagree?
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself. To that end, the Scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the golden worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the Nexus. Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay, but you said every planet you found is unlivable. So, how do I...
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Right. I think I should go check on things.
And if I fail, I guess it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
Alright, point me where I'm supposed to go.
Just point me to my ship and I'll be out of here.
They're prepping it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer. And when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
I was wondering about that.
Something wrong?
Ryder, please see me and Sam node on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention, and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No, I'm fine.
Alright, so we just spoke with Director Tan in the Pathfinder headquarters. Completed. Oh, a new beginning. Alright, let's check. First strike, speak with Sam. Speak with Kandros. Alright, so we just spoke with him. I thought I already spoke to Tan. He wanted to talk to me about something else.
Ryder, you have my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
Alright, so if I do, I'll find them. The conversation is just going to end and I'm not going to know anything about it. But I want to try to know as much info about these arcs as I can.
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
Alright, so we have a lot of stuff around here. I think all this is about, from the mission. So, let's get to know some more about the missing arcs.
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
Additional arcs. Are there any more?
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Alright, so I don't know if we'll see those species in the game, but if we do, we'll keep an eye out. Nexus troubles.
It sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
What do you know about Garson's death?
How did Jean Garson die?
Jean Garson.
With the rest of the leadership. When the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Jean Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Scourge disaster. What happened with the Scourge?
Kandros mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed. We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we call them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. She used to be one of ours.
Led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. We will have to remember that name. What do you know about Sloane Kelly?
Who is this Sloane Kelly?
She was head of security on the Nexus. She opposed the uprising at first, but eventually turned traitor and joined them. Misguided sympathy for the plight of the common citizen? Nonsense. They posed a direct threat to our existence.
Alright, and what about the Krogan?
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan demanded a greater say in political matters. The last place you want them involved. They're muscle, nothing more. Good for fighting and lifting heavy objects. When they didn't get what they wanted, they left.
Do you not like the Krogan?
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
Alright, so let's do planet viability. I remember Tan talking about
What do
this
I need
earlier.
to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the cat, or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
What are forward stations? That was not explained.
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
And we have two more. The Andromeda Initiative. What
more can you tell me about the initiative?
more does he know?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
Initiative Origins.
What do you know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Jean Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth. Wealthy. Young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
So Jean Garson was the one that originally proposed the Andromeda Initiative. What's the motive?
Why do you think
for
most
coming
people
here?
came?
There are thousands of reasons, one for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness, finding the thing that eludes them, the thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
That's not the answer I was getting. The question that was asked here was, like, what was the individual reason? Like, what was the reason for individuals to come here? But my question is, why was the Andromeda Initiative, originally proposed? Like, what's the point of it? Like, is there a reason? Alien species on Nexus.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
Alright, are there any other questions we have here? No. Oh, no other questions. And finally, what is the role of Tan?
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
Gridlock?
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
Why the doubt?
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
Revenue management?
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry.
Alright, I think that's all the questions we have for Tan. Goodbye, Tan.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend on each other's success. Good luck.
Speak with Tan, and finally we want to speak with the scientists. What do the scientists have to say? Press Alt to look. Looking at this information wall. We may come back to that, but I guess only if it's necessary. And at this point, operations new location discovered. At this point, it does not seem
But the
important.
planet was toxic. What if they store oxygen in porous tissue, like Quiro's rockfish?
Okay, let's talk to the scientists.
You must be the Pathfinder. Wonderful. You and your Sam are exactly what we need.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Herrick, my colleagues and I will work with your Sam and the data you gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
What are your specialties?
What fields do you study?
Herrick's into life sciences. I do planetary geology, oceanography, rocks and runoff. Aradana's the space and math whiz.
Not that we've had much to study, with everyone cooped up for 14 months.
But your data on the Scourge flows like poetry. Now we can better advise on repairing the damage it caused.
And maybe Addison will give us a real workspace. Who can think with all this racket?
Skill up. 3 points. Speak with the scientists. That didn't really tell us anything. We just kind of learned about who they are. Alright, let's check our journals out. We got no additional task. Helios. No. Allies and relationships. Missing arcs. Find leads on the Solarian arc, the Asari and Turian arc. Let's wait on that one, because that one seems to be... We may need more people in our squad for that. Alright, so priority ops, first strike. Speak to Kandros on the Nexus about something. Speak to Kandros.
That's the console for our strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
What would I need to dispatch them?
What situations should they handle?
Protecting civilian outposts, holding key positions, or just distracting the Ket. Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
That's it? Inspect available strike team missions. Right here. Strike team's offline, online features cannot be accessed until you connect online. That is okay, because I'm not going to connect online.
This is a night.
Alright, what else do we have? A better beginning. Speak with Sam on the Hyperion. And I think there was... I wanted to... talk to the distraught Turian.
It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
Well, we know nothing about this, so what did he do?
What exactly was he convicted of?
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have... There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
There might not be time. Of course, I want this.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Speak with the prison guard. Hold the track. Speak with the prison guard. Sergeant Akir.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanting to chat with you.
A Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
That's not why I'm here.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So they argued, and then he's
So when
dead
he was
now.
killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Panicked and fired. So he panicked.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
So we need to look at the evidence.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
So let's check the evidence, like, just maybe in case there's another person involved or it could have been tampered with. But we can't know for sure.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
No, this is about the murder case. I know nothing about
I
this
spoke
ark.
with Nilken Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
It was acted as a spark. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
So there was a trial and he was found guilty?
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
That is the difference between murder and accidental death.
In this case, motive plus opportunity plus eyewitness account equals murder. Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Alright, so...
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
So we'll have to talk with the
both,
eyewitness, and then listen to the recording. So I first want to hear the recording.
The Nexus versus Colonist Nilken, Evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to...
No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
So that didn't really help. All I heard was that there was an argument. So maybe this eyewitness will have something to add on to it. Here we go. Here's the person. Cassidy Shaw.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Scott Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilken murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the Chief. He looked right at Nilken and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
So I guess my first question is, were there Ket there? Because it couldn't have... There is a possibility
see any Ket in the vicinity?
of the Ket doing it.
Nilken said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Did Nilken regret it?
Did Nilken seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilken in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
So, it's kind of sounding like she believes it was a murder. Why was the chief shocked?
If they'd fought and Nilken threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
I'm not getting much more out of this. Do you agree with the chief?
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
I appreciate the information.
Of course. It kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder investigation.
Tan wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
Speak with Tan. So, we don't know a whole lot yet. Like, if nobody has really seen the body, then how can we say it was murder? Speak with Tan. Oh, you're not Tan. You're Kandros. Tan is the one over here in the Pathfinder office. Speak with engineer. With the engineer. All right, Director Tan.
Something I can help you with?
The murder charge.
I'm looking into the Nilken-Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to EOS and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda, and I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
Settling an outpost comes first. But I suppose I have no objections. Physical evidence will only bolster the case.
I agree, and this is what I've been saying. The body can reveal much.
The more certain we can be, the better.
All right, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case. I hope anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder scene. Good luck.
All right, that's
all.
Everything for now.
Thanks for your time.
I'm here to serve.
So now the next step is to go to EOS. And we have a couple things to do now on EOS. First of all, we have to get the viability up. And now we have to get back the body. And that's about it. So next thing is to talk with the engineer. This guy. But that is going to have to wait until the next episode. We are kind of getting a list of things to do now. But the main thing which we will try to get done in the next episode is to make contact with the planet Eos, which sounds like it's going to be the first civilization, the first colony. So, if you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button for some more Mass Effect Andromeda, or subscribe for more episodes altogether. Otherwise, I will see you in the next episode of Mass Effect Andromeda.
Disembarkation procedures for Hyperion are on hold.